Here we go!
My friends, today we are looking at bizarre places, liminal spaces, and all the unappreciated, lesser-seen features of GoldenEye 007. Indeed, we spend a ton of time speedrunning GoldenEye by looking down at the ground, and so after all these years, I finally thought, why not look up again and see the beautiful or unusual sights to take in? If you're at all like me, you might watch some other YouTube videos about old classic N64 games, and in particular, a few channels have really resonated with me lately and fascinated me. The Luigi Bros with things you didn't know about the N64 Zelda games, Circuit showing these unique and rare interactions in Majora's Mask, and Annie Austin exploring the unseen and unusual spaces in Nintendo games. And certainly, these have all influenced me lately into wanting to make this kind of video. I used cheats and GameShark codes on an EverDrive to achieve some of the effects and visit some of the locations in this video, and as we explore these areas, I'll give some impromptu commentary about what we're seeing. So, let's check out some strange places and liminal spaces in GoldenEye 007. Alright, so the first place we're going to look at is this crazy, bizarre thing on Control. I was stunned when I first saw this in the year 2022, believe it or not. I was watching an Ilu DLTK video during DLTK Speed Lore. I'd never seen this before, and it truly stunned me. So usually when Natalia opens this door, you just run down here, pick up the remote mines, and keep carrying on. There's the mines, you run through here. Obviously, in DLTK, you're gonna pass away from these 4 guards throwing nades at you and stuff. And so what you do is, you hang out in this chamber where the mines were, and you let them throw nades at themselves. This can take a long time for guards to get baited out and throw nades at themselves and, blow each other up. So Ilu's hanging out here, and he looks up, and there's this bizarre vent to the surface here. There's probably 2 left in there. Oh my god, I've never looked up here. I legitimately have never looked up there and seen that in my life. That is crazy. And so that was my initial reaction seeing it for the first time. And I actually showed Perfect Ace in a voice call as well, and he was pretty stunned. He had never seen it before either. Did I show you this with the hole?
Oh, I actually don't think I've... I don't think I've seen that one actually, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean...
yeah.
I know I've seen like his old 15-minute or whatever it was, but...
Yeah. And it makes sense why none of us have seen it, because, like I said, you come in here, you pick up the mines, you leave. You never, under any circumstance, stop here to look up at the sky. And so it's... I guess the devs wanted, a little bit of an air vent or passage, to get some circulation in the control, which is, beneath the floor of the jungle. But it's just such a surprising detail that they actually, someone had to add this in specifically. And there's some really interesting properties too, if I throw a mine, you'll see in a second, it won't attach if it goes above the vent, and it'll fall back down, but it'll land here on the inside of this ceiling. See? It landed on the inside of the ceiling. It went over, I guess up here is not loaded. If this was supposed to be a 3D cave roof, it's not loaded at all, but this part of the roof is loaded. There it is. It's just so bizarre. And then if I do an uncrouch throw, the mine just kind of goes off into the void. See, that one didn't land anywhere. Those two are the ones that land on the ceiling. If I give it a minute and throw another uncrouched mine, you'll see it again. You know, gotta wait for the smoke to clear. You can see that one blew up somewhere underneath the level in the void of space and time. And yeah, just such a bizarre feature. Like, we never stop in this room anyways. We just run, grab the mines, and leave. You never look up. And so I was shocked. I mean, I literally saw this for the first time this year after the game's been out 25 years, and I've played it most of those years. There's a lot of interesting stuff on Control that we rarely look at, and we rarely go to these areas of the level, but that ceiling vent has gotta be the most bizarre thing that I've seen thus far. Here is a tricky question for anyone who knows GoldenEye well. Where is this door and wall texture located? It is a locked door, and it is in the back part of train. I used walk-through walls to achieve this. I believe there's a way to get behind there without walk-through walls. Something with turbo mode, but I tried a few times and kind of have forgotten how to do it. So if you know how to do it, let me know. But yeah, with walk-through walls, walk-through doors actually, you can get through that wall and this one, and you get to the back room of train. And it's not all that interesting. There's just a door that's locked, and even with walk-through doors on, you cannot get through this door. So that's interesting. But definitely, these textures are nowhere else in the game. And just kind of a weird spot at the end of the train as everything begins blowing up and Natalia passes away. But yeah, it's certainly strange to remain on the train after the explosion happens, and then especially back here is just beyond strange. And I think I've seen clips where people have removed this door and there's just a black void behind it. It's like there's a whole secret extra room back there. There's just nothing. But yeah, it's certainly one of the more mysterious and lesser known places in the game. Very easy to access with the Game Shark or EverDrive code for walk-through doors. It is accessible without that, with like turbo mode and something else. But yeah, definitely a rare and uncommon place in GoldenEye 007. Alright, so we're gonna get to one of the most liminal type of spaces in all of GoldenEye, as far as I am concerned. On Facility, if instead of taking the fork to the left like we usually do, we go to the right, you get into this weird lab room that really has no purpose, other than Dr. Doak can spawn in this room. He has 7 spawn locations, and 2 of them are in here, and obviously for a speedrun that's no good, but he can end up here. What is here, though, are these tanks, and they leak gas. And we can see that, we get a message saying, isolating area, and very quickly this area will fill up with green gas. You can hear coughing. That is you coughing, and if I did not have the invincibility cheat on, we would be taking a good deal of health right now. Actually, once the gas leak begins, this door is permanently locked. See, if I press B at it, I get a message, and the remotely, way to open the door is that console. So this is permanently locked, and not even guards can open it, which is kind of interesting. Some doors in the game, not even guards can open, and that one becomes one if there's a gas leak. But definitely, once the gas is leaking, and with these pretty green colors, I find this to be probably the most liminal feeling space in the game. You know, knowing that this is some toxic gas, it definitely feels that you are not supposed to be here, which is kind of that typical liminal feeling. You know, you're in the back room of a mall, or a mall after close, or a school at night. And definitely being in this strange laboratory with these weird pipes and stuff. It gives me that same feeling. Now we can actually explore other parts of the facility with a gas leak, but we have to do it another way since we cannot get through this door. So if we explode these tanks, we also get the gas flooding effect, but we're in the rest of the facility, and so we can explore these other parts of the stage. Alright, so the facility is completely flooded. The gas has stopped hissing out of the tanks, and definitely some of these places look pretty liminal. Certainly above the exit point on the stage, there's also this extra room up here with 2 guards, and this also serves like no purpose in the game really. I mean, these guards control you on LTK runs actually. They can come down and kill you at the very end of a run, which is unfortunate. But other than that, like, this spot in particular is just so kind of unusual. Like, no one really goes here. You certainly don't really need to go here ever. Obviously, at the end of the facility, you get the infinitely spawning guards, and so they're all coming after me now. Yeah, this spot in particular is just, like, so odd. This bonus unneeded room, I guess you could sort of, like, engage in the whole Trevelyan versus Ormov scene and fight from up here. But it's definitely unnecessary. You know, because this is one of the first stages in the game, facility, the devs spend, like, way more time making these stages, and so there ended up being kind of some unused space, which is sort of the exact thing that defines what a liminal space is in a lot of times. Just these vast expanses of strange and unused space. This room's too, like, this is the same thing over here. This is a whole room, and I guess you could engage with the bottling room fight from up here. But when you're hanging out here, it just looks so strange. It is kind of funny how the guards and scientists are unaffected by the gas. Like, you would be dying without invincibility on. And yeah, here's this iconic hallway flooded with gas. It definitely is a unique experience. So yeah, there's facility. Flooded with gas. Very strange. Really one of the only environmental situations you can get yourself into in GoldenEye. And always a throwback to explore a little bit here on facility. Alright, I put on turbo mode to explore Dam for the sake of brevity. And certainly Dam is interesting because there's these 3 towers here with the alarms in them, which is objectives on Secret and Double Agent. But beyond the last tower is this whole, like, expanse of Dam with truly nothing on it, not even a guard. And it just comes to this abrupt end over here. It's just weirdly marked, too, with these yellow you know, road markings and then a red stripe just saying no. It's not even a door, it's just a wall. And like, you could probably get guards over here if you slowly lured them, you know, animation by animation over here. But just a vast nothingness. And I guess the devs wanted to build a complete dam. And, you know, sure, they could have cut it off here, whatever, but they built the complete dam, which is pretty cool, you know? Again, it's the first level of the game. They spent a lot of time on the stage, and so it makes sense that they put extra time into really making the architecture of the stage complete. I had to go back and get the sniper for this next bit. There we go, the famous paintbrush. So as strange as the end of the dam is, this whole kind of piers at the bottom of the dam are certainly strange and definitely very unused. We can see guards, you know, can come over here and fight you over here, but generally speaking, you have no reason to be here, and so you wouldn't really interact with them over here at all. As the legend goes, there is a so-called dam island over here, although it's probably not really an island at all. It's probably just like a bit of a peninsula, or, you know, going into the land over here. But there is a turret over here, and it's a whole separate kind of area. And originally you were going to have to take a boat from here over there, and you can just imagine how kind of weird that is. The only sort of vehicle in this game is the tank. You press B twice to get in, you press B to get out, but you can get out of the tank kind of anywhere on streets or runway, whereas like what would happen if you tried to dismount the boat in the middle of the reservoir. And so eventually, you know, they couldn't quite get it working, or, you know, time was getting too compressed, and so they scrapped the boat and the damn island from the game. So that's certainly very strange. I've never been over there, actually. I was actually trying around with a bunch of EverDrive cheats, GameShark cheats on my EverDrive, and I just couldn't get the no clipping cheat to work, which purportedly warps you off of here and you can walk on the water and get over there. Jimbo actually has a video of visiting the island on his channel from like 2008, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, these piers down here are just kind of open space. They do kind of give you that eerie feeling of like a very massive space with man-made structures where no one is present. And it certainly gives you that liminal feeling. Again, one more thing to shout out here on Dam. The kind of textures on the mountains repeat, although you don't really notice it at first. But Ace always likes to point out how this one kind of looks like a dolphin, you know, like some sort of beluga whale, maybe more appropriately. You know, there's its eye, and there's its whale-like body. And you can see there's the whale again. Here's a really good one of the whale. And especially over here, one looks like, this one right here looks like he's about to dive in to the ocean. There it is again, the whale. That's a good one. So shoutouts to Ace's white whale texture in the Dam Mountains. So hey, there were some strange places, liminal spaces, and just some other interesting areas in GoldenEye 007. Let me know if you liked this video. You know, I don't usually do these sorts of impromptu, unscripted, hangout style videos very often, so let me know what you thought and if you enjoyed it. If so, I might do a similar video in Perfect Dark, or a 10 things you didn't know about GoldenEye, or something like that. Anyhow, I hope you're all well and good, and that you saw something new or interesting in this video. Let me know if you have a favorite strange location in GoldenEye. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you all for watching. Stay true, my friends, and I'll see you in the next stream or video.